for training. Clearly, this is a job for Power Apps. But my friends, this is no ordinary Power App. It may be a beautiful, model-driven app with modern controls, but it's more than that. This app is intelligent. It has a brain. A brain that can coordinate the work of many specialized agents. And if that sounds a little sci-fi, let's make it practical. And we're gonna start here pulling that report. And I'm just gonna start typing in natural language what I need to see here. And what this app is gonna do, think of it like having a little report agent working in the backstage for me. It's gonna start taking my input and filtering down thousands of records in this database down to just exactly what I wanna see. And I can add to that query, I can change my mind, I can back up and delete, and in just seconds here, I've got exactly what I need. I can share that with my colleague and I'm done. I mean, previously this would have taken all kinds of futzing with advanced find or column filters, or let's be honest, calling in a favor from my data person. But now, it's showing me exactly what parameters it's pulling out of that natural language query and moving me on with my day. Pretty cool. But our work here is not done. Remember, we also have to set up a new employee for training. So I'm gonna go hit this new button here, and holy denormalized data model, Batman. There are a lot of fields on this form. And guys, if you'll recall, that email was not very brief either. I mean, we're talking paragraphs of text here, all kinds of different date formats. Raise your hand if you just love doing manual data entry on a Wednesday morning. Somebody did. Come on, you're lying. Nobody likes that. And luckily, with an intelligent app, we don't have to. I'm going to take the whole text of this email. I'm going to let you in on a little fancy programming trick I learned in college. It's called copy and paste. And check that out. We've got a data entry agent working behind the scenes here in Power Apps. Boom! It's going to take all of that text and fill out every single field in that form for me. It's going to reformat the dates. It's going to get everything right. It's going to pull it out. Game changer, massive time savings. And you'll also notice that at no point have we even had to pull out a chatbot. These agents are just working right in the flow of our work, right inside of the application, helping us get our jobs done. Now, of course, Copilot is always here when we need it, and if we have additional follow-up questions, and I can ask one here about policy related to a particular type of training for this employee, all of these features, this whole brain, is running on Copilot Studio. And that means that I can extend it with knowledge and actions and skills specific to my company. In fact, not only did it answer my question, it linked me here to another Power App that these employees will need to use to find their trainings and set up an appointment and get to exactly what they need. And the app connoisseurs in the audience will recognize this as a beautiful modern Canvas app using modern controls, Canvas components, responsive containers, fully responsive app, very nice. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. There's a bigger point here. There's almost no real business problem out there that you can solve with just one little app. Take this training example. We're talking back office apps for managing training, front office apps for employees to find and register for training, a whole bunch of automation linking it all together, a data model and connectivity, and now a Copilot brain and a whole bunch of agents making it work. This is a whole robust solution. Right? When we say we've got to go build 1 billion pieces of software in the next 4 years, this is the kind of software we're talking about. A whole robust solution. And part of the reason why there's more than 6,000 people in this room in Vegas right now is because we have lots of great tools in Power Platform for building pieces of those solutions. The automations, the applications, the data model. And like Charles said before, those pieces work best together, but historically, the putting together part, the designing the solution part, that's all been manual. And that's all been up to us. Not anymore. What I'm about to show you, I can count on one hand the number of people outside of Microsoft who have seen this before. This is brand new. But I can't think of a better people to share the future of Power Platform with. We are going to go build that solution we just used. We're going to talk about how we build intelligent solutions. And we're going to start here at powerapps.com, just type in a piece of text into a box to describe our needs. We're going to help a US insurance company manage policy training. But let's be real. Nobody builds a whole robust solution off of a sentence. I don't care how good your GPT model is or how many 4s and O's it has. We need to bring additional context to this. And guess what? Now we can. Now, I can point to just about anything in my company, data, a picture of a process diagram, a screenshot of a legacy app, you name it, all of it, I can attach it in here, and I'm gonna put it into Copilot. Here's what Copilot is not gonna do. It's not gonna just rush in and start building an app or building a table. It's gonna do something a lot more sophisticated. It's gonna do what many of us would do in the audience. It's gonna start to think through the problem. It's gonna start to ask, who are the users in this scenario? What do they need to accomplish? What are their user stories? What are their jobs to be done? What are their tasks? And Copilot is gonna help us build a plan. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the plan designer. Plan designer, this is everything. Get to know each other. You're gonna be spending a lot of time together in the future. Check this out. This plan is drafting out all of these individual user roles and their specific needs and stories, and that's just the start of a living document that I can come edit and adjust and build into what I want. I'm gonna jump into a plan that I built this morning backstage, where I gave it some feedback about those user roles. I can edit them right in line, or I can give Copilot more abstract feedback, and then that kicks off the work of a network of agents. The data modeling agent came in here and suggested a whole bunch of Dataverse tables, and in fact, built an entire relational data model for me based on the plan, based on the user stories. And I can even zoom in and see exactly the details of those tables and what columns are suggested and the sample data involved. And again, it's iterative. I can edit it, I can adjust it, I can build it to be what I want. And then when we're happy with that, we'll hand off to a solution architecture agent who will start to recommend specific applications and components of the solution. You'll notice here's that training manager model-driven app, built on a subset of those tables aimed at those specific user stories. And here's that insurance rep training app, the Canvas app for registering for trainings recommended for me, along with other model-driven apps and even Power Automate workflows to remind people about their training and keep them compliant. And guess what? At every step of this process, I can give feedback to Copilot. I can say, hey, look, that's great, but I want something that's gonna make sure the district managers get reports about the progress in their team, and we can edit the plan. This is a living, breathing document that helps bring together all of these components of applications and automations to do exactly what we need. That is totally new. Now look, there's some other, you can clap for that. Yeah, absolutely, that's cool, that's cool. There are things like this out there, I'll be honest. People have demonstrated, user story generation with GPT, and there's certainly a lot of code generators out there. That's just code. You gotta debug it and verify its quality and host it and run it to millions of users and secure it and put role-based access control in it, connect it to all your systems, and then iterate on it down the line. Power Platform is completely different, right? This plan is the start of a journey. It's the start of a journey we can go on together to perfect and adjust and improve those assets built on the plan, and do it with a much wider network of people than just the traditional software developers in our teams. We can do it collaboratively with a whole group of people. And to celebrate that part of collaboration, I'm gonna bring some collaborators up here on stage. Let's get the Hype Squad back out here. Let's bring Lydia back up. Come on, everybody. You can clap. We are going to do something we have never attempted before at a Power Platform Community Conference. We are going to saw Phil in half. I'm kidding, I'm sorry. That's just a magic trick. We're going to do something a lot more real and probably a lot riskier. We're going to take that Canvas app that you saw me use in the first step, that Copilot recommended through the plan designer, and we're going to edit it together. Not one, not two, not three, all four of us co-authoring live in the Power Apps Canvas studio. Are you ready, collaborators? Are you all ready? All right, let's do this. Let's have a good time. So you'll notice if you have not collaborated with co-authors in the Canvas studio before, this is pretty cool. I can see that Lydia and Elsie and Phil are all here. In fact, I can see exactly what screens they're working with me on right now. And I can go see the pieces of this app and how to make it better. And this is pretty neat. And so, I'm here on the request training screen, and I notice we've got some white space hanging out over here. Elsie, you got any ideas of how to fill that up? Maybe something like an image or a map or something?
Yeah, I think we can definitely. Let me see what I can do. I'm going to copy this container so we can go over there and fill that up so it can look nice. Bear with me. Just going to drop this right here. Let's see what happens, and boom, there we
Hey,
go.
all right, that was pretty cool. I didn't touch it at all. Awesome. Now, Phil, I hope you forgive me about the sawing and hashing. But speaking of snippets, you were. See what I did there? You were telling me about a code snippet backstage.
I do love the code
some kind of cool control. What do you think we could put on this screen to make it a little nicer?
It would fit perfect for that screen you're on. Let me paste this code snippet in, and we'll see what you think. You're gonna love it.
Oh wow! Hey, that's cool.
Huh?
That's a whole control. So that was just pure YAML that you just pasted in there, right?
It's YAML that I got from someone on the team.
Yeah, I learned recently that YAML is not just a sweet potato relative. It's actually the code behind all of Power Apps. And now you can see it, in granular detail. This has all kinds of benefits. Yeah, we'll clap for that. We know we have the real nerds in the audience when we're clapping for YAML. We can see the whole thing, massive benefits to ALM, code reuse, snippets, all of the above. Very cool. One of the many, many investments, along with co-authoring, we're making to make building apps better, especially for advanced teams, in addition to Copilot. All right, let's do one more thing. We're gonna come back to this request trading screen. Lydia, I see you've got this gray circle selected. And I'll be honest, it's just looking a little drab. Do you think we could spruce that up a little bit?
I think I can definitely jazz it up. And I've got two options for you. Okay,
All right.
the first one that I really like is this little blue number.
Oh, that's very nice. That sort of subtle Power Apps purple.
Or if you want something slightly more vibrant, check this out.
Oh, the green. I like the green. But it's a little weird to have it green when there's 0 trainings available. What if we made it conditional? What if we made it like a traffic light? Like red, yellow, green based on different numbers. Now, I think I can take a shot at that. And I'll be honest, this is gonna stretch my Power FX skills a little bit. But luckily, I've got Copilot right in line here, right? And I don't even have to go type out a nested if statement all by myself. I can take this expression and I can just type a comment like I'd write it in natural language. I'm gonna say, if it's 0, make it red. If it's less than 5, make it yellow, otherwise make it green. Copilot's gonna generate that expression right in line. Where are my Power FX people? Is that an appropriate nested if? All right, that has been great. All I gotta do is take that suggestion, press tab, and enter, and bam, now we have conditionally formatted circles. That is pretty awesome. Give it up for my co-authors, everybody. Thank you all. And give it up for Power Apps co-authoring. It just passed a really big test.